Investment advisor.
What does Resource Center really mean?
We're an insurance and financial services company in South Springfield, and 20 years is our anniversary next year. The company has evolved into what it is today, which was a vision of having a one-stop shop.
You hire the best of the best.
Yes, we do. Everybody here to me is family.
Our guiding principles are:
be kind,
speak honestly,
make it simple,
act fairly,
put people over profits.
Simple solutions.
Good morning, everybody out there in Wildcat Nation. Bruce just wandered in. Very timely, Bruce.
I'm here.
You're here, yeah. You had to run and get your glasses, and
Yeah, I did.
I just started the live, and you said, I had to get my glasses, and you walked out. I'm like, okay. I know you'll make it back.
Hey, you know, when you can't see, you can't see.
It's true. I'm not sure how you got that far without your glasses.
Oh, I know.
I know when I don't have mine on.
Well,
So.
I can't see to eat.
Ah,
So
yeah.
that's real important.
Yes, it is. Yeah, because you got to know what you're eating.
Well, most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. So we're here in the Resource Center studio. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is cool. And we're getting ready to move.
We are, yes, to have
Process.
individual studios and permanent locations and all permanent installations and
Wiring
and
no kicking cables.
no kicking cables and all of that stuff. So we're looking forward to that. Thanks a lot
I
for
think that'll be good.
helping make that happen. We had some big storms last week.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce, has your phone been ringing off the hook?
Yeah, I mean, not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
But, you know, today I want to talk about understanding your deductibles. You know, this time of year, it's really important to know how much out-of-pocket expense am I going to have if we have wind or hail or things like that. Now, when it comes to homeowners insurance, and I've got really good people at our office that can answer a whole lot of questions for people and do some very good competitive rating. But understanding that, like with home insurance, you could have a standard all perils deduction. Like most people think, well, I've got $1,000 or $1,500 home deduction, but you got to read the fine print on your policy. You could have a wind and hail separate deduction. Now, a lot of times we'll see that that'll be a percentage of overall cost or overall coverage. So if you have a $100,000 house and you have a 1% wind and hail and you have a $1,000 deductible and you have a major storm, you've got wind and hail damage, that's $1,000. You've got an all perils, everything else deductible, that's $1,000. Now, that's not a big deal when you got a lower valued home.
Do those deductibles stack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's
So
1,000 plus 1%.
Well, absolutely could be determined
Depending
by
on the policy.
And determined by where did the claim, what's the damage, what's the claim, things like that. Not as big a deal when you got a lower valued home, but you get a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 home with a 1% wind and hail. You got a separate $500 or $5,000 deductible for your roof, for example, even though you may have a $1,000 or $1,500 standard deduction. Now, that's just important to understand. A lot of people buy auto and home insurance, boat insurance, toy insurance, you know, motorcycles, all that, based on price alone. And that's a major mistake people make, is you got to understand the coverages, the limits, and how much are you going to be out of pocket if you have a problem.
You know, one thing that I recently came to understand is, like, on roof insurance, like if you have damage to your roof, and I'm not going to say this right, so I'm going to lean on you a little bit, but there's a depreciating value of your roof based on its age that then limits the amount of recovery you can get if you have to replace your roof. If your roof is 20 years old, your insurance might not cover it because it's completely depreciated.
If you have insurance and you have a 20-year-old roof,
right,
you're going to have a hard time shopping for a better policy, lower premium, because very few companies will want to take on a 20-year-old roof that, you know, here in the Ozarks, the life expectancy of a shingle is about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Due to all these storms that we've been having. So I have a house that has a 16-year-old roof. Pretty hard for me to get that covered if I wanted to change policies, because other insurance carriers are going to look at that and go, well, that roof is 75% gone.
Yeah.
We know the next storm comes through, we're going to be putting a roof on that house. So they're going to price it accordingly as far as my premium. So it's important to understand that you could have a lot more out-of-pocket expense if you have a claim than most people think they have when they have $1,000 home deductible.
So what's the answer to that? If I don't really understand, if I'm not sure what my policy is going to say, you've got some options for folks, don't you?
Right. I mean, we have people in our office, and the one thing that we kind of pride ourselves with at the Resource Center, we do very good work for our customers. If we shop your insurance and you got a good situation where you're at, we're going to tell you, here's what you've got, so you understand what you've got. And if in the marketplace, if you've got a good policy, we're going to tell you you do, because we know that eventually you're going to come back to us because something will change. I mean, that's the way insurance goes. Now, if we can be competitive or point out some shortfalls of the policy that you've got right now, we're going to do that at the company, at the Resource Center, because you need to understand that where you might think you've got $1,000 deductible on your $500,000 house, but we're going to point out, you've got a 1% or a 2% wind and hail deductible. So if you have a claim from hail, you're going to be out $5,000 or $10,000, not $1,000.
Exactly what you described was my experience, and it's one of the reasons that I love being a partner with the Resource Center with my law firm. Is I actually had your guys shop my auto policies, and they came back and said, "You got a great policy. We can't beat what you're doing right now for your situation."
Right.
And they were just super honest with me and told me everything that was going on, and said they recommended I keep my policy. But I think that's the difference, because people then think, and they'll tell you, they'll tell me, why would you do that? Why would you just let business walk out the door? And the point is, and like I said, this is why I enjoy being a partner of the Resource Center, is it's not about the profit. Profit is important, but it doesn't come first. You put, I put, we put people first. And when your goal every day when you get up and go to work is, how can I help people? How can I serve them well? You've got a business that's 20 years old strong, right? Or more.
Well,
I may have underestimated
No,
you there.
I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, we started our company in late 2000 and incorporated in 01. So we actually got up and running in 01.
About the time I started my law firm,
And
by
about
the
the
way.
time financially the world collapsed around us.
Yeah.
2000, 01, 02. It was not a great time to start your own company. And then we had a 5-year run. Then what happened? It fell again.
Yeah.
And so, when I started this company, I came from the background of sales. Nothing mattered but sales. And they kept their thumb on the back of your neck, and they didn't really care if you worked 7 days a week. We'd like you to work 8 if you could, right? And so I got away from that. And not that we don't work hard. We pride ourselves in working hard and very diligently for our customers, but there's a different way to do it. We eliminated quotas. I require everybody to make sure our customers are serviced. We try, and we're human. We make errors also.
Sure.
But we try to make sure that we put our best foot forward in every situation, whether it's auto and home insurance, financial planning, estate planning, just consulting with people on different changing life events. That's what we do at the Resource Center. We try to send you in the right direction. It's like K-ROG. We needed some insurance for K-ROG here, and it's not anything that we specialize in, and there are better avenues for what our needs were here. So we're certainly going to refer our customers somewhere else to get them taken care of. That's the main thing. We have to have a servant's heart in this industry, and for far too long, it's always been about sales, and that's fine, but it's not the way we're going to approach our business.
Right. So if you need anything, give them a call. Resource Center, 882-1800, big sponsor here of K-ROG, and they'd love to have your business, love to shop your insurance, and we'd love to see you at one of our estate planning workshops we do together. There's one tomorrow night and one Wednesday. You can register for that if there's any openings at 882-1800. Rogersville, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.